like I was saying, your favorite league, the WNBA, they had their drafts. Future looks bright, right, TR? What are your thoughts?
The WNBA may actually be one of those gems that just keeps on giving, though, because there's so much dialogue outside of Caitlin Clark, and Caitlin Clark is a big deal in the WNBA, should be a big deal. But this draft, there's like a bunch of there's a couple of things that we need to have like a quick discussion on. So real quick, Paige Bueckers went number one, and then I don't know who any of these other players are, but Haley Haley Van Leith, and she's going to Chicago Sky. Paige is going to the Dallas Wings, and Haley Van Leith is going to the Sky, though, and which is the Sky is very important though, because Haley actually played with Angel Reese back at LSU, but then Haley, I think she switches a school every year. So if Haley's on your team, you're probably not going to win the championship. Just FYI. But Angel Reese was super happy.
Like a transfer portal for that.
Yeah. So Angel Reese was super happy about that. But I don't know if Haley, I don't know if that's going to be a good combination with Haley and Angel, because if you watch any of Angel's games, which I don't, but I see the highlights, it's a lot of putbacks occurring on that team, though. So it'll be interesting to see if they can pair well, though, because it is got a new coach too. But Paige Bueckers, I think the WNBA loves that she was the number one pick, because she's checking all the boxes. She's super woke and has a big social media personality, and she's on the Scissors team. So she is definitely.
I can't say that's surprising.
Yeah, she's definitely, well, I should say allegedly, but if I can find this picture or this video, you'll see why I say allegedly. Your thoughts, MC?
I think she's probably going to be better than Caitlin Clark, and I think a lot of heads are going to explode when that happens, because everybody worships her. But
hold on. You think Haley?
You heard it here first.
Paige? You think Paige is going to surpass Caitlin Clark in like what? Attention, basketball?
She's going to be just as good. I don't know about surpass. But she is going to be just as good.
Man,
did you see her play in that national championship game? She owned that game.
Yeah, but she's going to the Dallas Wings, and I don't think they're trending for anything, honestly.
People weren't trending for anything before she got there. They sucked.
That's a good point.
Did they even make the playoffs? This is the most we've ever talked about the W. But I'm just a fan of basketball as a whole. She's going to have the same effect there that Caitlin Clark had in Indiana. But what we do know is going to happen is the WNBA is going to fumble this somehow. For some reason, they struggle with marketing their players. I don't know why.
I don't think they will. Here's why. Look, this is okay. You know me. I hate the pantsuit. I hate it with a passion. I don't know when it became fashionable. I guess Hillary made it fashionable, but I dislike the pantsuit. And here we are. And I don't care what these I don't care how they scissors. I don't care how they fence, what side of the fence they are on. But this is I forget.
Not to cut you off, but look at that picture on there on the right in the comments.
Yeah, look at that gift. Yeah. This is actually her teammate. Her name is Azzy something. Aussie or something. I forget her name.
You can't make this up.
Azzy Fudd. There we go. Azzy. Yes, Azzy Fudd. So there was actually a video where Paige had just got drafted. She went over and talked to Azzy Fudd, and she was already, and Paige was mic'd up. And she goes and tells her, sits down and hey, I'm mic'd up, so be careful what you say. I know that can mean anything, but after seeing stuff like this, dude, I'm telling you right now, the WNBA, they have a potential. They're going to have an issue with their players hooking up with each other, because Azzy Fudd got drafted also to the Dallas Wings as well too. So they drafted your girlfriend? Is that why she got drafted? So you want to make Paige happy. So if Paige wants to be happy, you draft her girlfriend too. Like they're gonna have a big issue with the players dating each other or dating the competition though, because this actually happened with Caitlin Clark, where one of her teammates in the playoffs was supposed to be guarding or had a very lackluster play. And I don't know if she was, sandbagging or if she was just out of it, whatever the case is. But she was actually dating one of the teammates that they were playing against in the playoffs. And that chick, as soon as she was over, they cut her. They're like, "You're gone." So I don't know if they cut her because of her poor performance. I don't know if she's even drafted. It was like Neliasa or something, but they cut her. So she's no longer on that team though. But it's pretty rampant that these WNBA players are hooking up with each other. And I know people might think, well, it's a big deal. Well, ask who is the chick that didn't get picked up? Sedona Prince. Ask her.
Yeah.
Ask her why it's like a big deal.
Yeah, I was going to bring that story up too, and for those of you, and I know a lot of y'all don't watch the WNBA, but if you look into Sedona Prince, she's got some accusations against her that are noteworthy.
Hey,
so much so that she didn't even get drafted.
Don't be nice about it. To tell the folks.
I'm trying to be mindful of YouTube when I say that. If this is just us talking personally, I'd say yeah, she put hands on at least allegedly she put hands on at least 3 or 4 different women. Yeah. And one of the women allegedly accused her of forceful entry without consent. Yeah. So you wrap your brains around that, how another woman can accuse a woman of something like that. You'll figure it out eventually. But yeah. The point is she's very talented. I do think she's going to end up in this league at some point. She's talented. She can play. Yeah, she wasn't drafted, but somebody's going to give her a shot. She's going to play.
Sedona Prince?
Yes. Absolutely.
Man, hold up though. So, because I had to see, the funny thing about the WNBA.
Hold on, before you go, I'm gonna land on this since we're talking about Sedona. This puts the WNBA in a position where you have to choose, and this is the same decision the NFL, the NBA, they all had to make. You got to choose between talent or your morals. Do you want to put the best product out there, or are you gonna make a stand? Which one is it? Because we know in these other leagues that I just discussed, they gave them ways back into the league just because of how talented they was. So now WNBA, for lack of a better term, balls in your court.
I don't know how they're gonna make Sedona, because they sent a message that she was not going to get drafted. She might go to international. Look at these. Like, honestly, I didn't know this was a thing with Sedona Prince. Since 2019, Prince has been accused by 4 women. 4 women of either assault or sexual assault. What the? One of Prince's former partners filed and later dropped a lawsuit against her, accusing her. Man, I don't know if I've ever seen a woman essay another woman like multiple
times. I'm glad you said that, TR, because another thing we got to talk about is which relationships have the highest rates of violence.
Oh, yeah. I know the folks are going to be like, well, it's going to be men. It's scissors on scissors.
It's the lesbians have the highest rates of violence against each other.
Yeah, see, and I want to make sure so people don't think I'm capping, because we try to be like pretty, like when we're talking about everybody else, we were having the conversation and make sure we deliver the message. But here, Prince was asked 2 women who later accused her of DV to sign a NDA. That sounds a little Diddy-ish to me. According to police records and an ex-girlfriend, Prince also threatened legal action against women who have spoken about her on social media. Come on, man. Like one of Prince's former girlfriend. How many bitches this chick got? God damn. Olivia Stable posted a series of TikTok videos. We might have to revisit this. Prince of physical and verbal abuse, included in the posts, where accusations of Prince shoving her to the ground and threatening to sue Stable if you were to go public about the incident. Prince stated the allegations are false, defamatory, misleading. No charges have been filed. A change petition called to have Prince removed from the roster collected over 164,000 signatures. So she still stayed on the team. And then, she had a black eye. Come on, man. In January 2025, Prince's ex-girlfriend involved in a physical altercation. Prince sustained a black eye. Ultimately, Fort Worth police stated that the only evidence consistent with both accounts is that there was a physical altercation. Both parties sustained minimal injuries. So this chick is okay with putting hands on chick. Like, and I want to be fair too, because whenever this happens to a man, we got to be mindful of like, did it really happen? Do we have any evidence? This is a history of evidence that, accusations from other women. Not to mention signing NDAs. I think Deshaun Watson. I think he had an NDA situation, and they threw that out the window. Like the NDAs are not as super
Yeah,
tight.
yeah.
They're not, yeah, they're not as super tight as they used to be. And you can ask Diddy about, how NDAs work nowadays.
You can ask Trump about those too, because the old girl had one and she got to talking.
Oh
It sounds like
yeah.
essentially they don't mean anything. Stormy, that was her name.
Yeah. Stormy Daniels.
But
Yeah.
going back to the WNBA, look, you got some names now, right? Because Paige is going to have a following. Paige can ball. Juju eventually is going to get up in there too. And they got even more names coming down the pipe. So the women's game itself is getting better. That being said, y'all still took a loss this year. Despite
Mhm.
claiming y'all had the highest viewership and ticket sales, you still lost $40 million. And Commissioner Adam Silver, that article I just posted, TR, has already come out and said it's going to be years before you see the WNBA start to make a profit. Years. So that means
They're
that they're
never
going
going
to
to make a
keep,
profit.
yeah, they're going to keep getting subsidized by the NBA while they're complaining about men. That's the message I got from that. But again, you're in an interesting space, WNBA. How are you going to market these people? How are you going to increase your revenues? Especially what Angel Reese just said in an interview a couple of months ago that they're going to start pushing back again about higher salaries while
Yeah.
taking losses as a good
And
luck.
Angel Reese just had on her podcast. She just had a conversation with Chesan Rock or Krishan Rock, whatever that chick's name is. She just had a conversation with her. Said, "Hey, you do the same thing as LeBron James. You should be making the same amount." And man, the delusion on a lot of these players is mind blowing to me. The only one that's going to be able to make the highest amount of money and it'll never be close to LeBron James is pretty much going to be Caitlin Clark. I don't know where they're going to get the money from, but it's not even close. Like you better work on those endorsement deals. So in the the funny thing about the WNBA, they said they had the second most viewed WNBA draft of all time. Double these numbers, and this is what they had last year when the Caitlin Clark was there. So I don't know why they want to say like second most and everything. Like, I mean, I guess you want to highlight, you want to show progress though, but it's not progress though, because even though these numbers are pretty high, it's still pretty low compared to like what really happened. Like they had to say 2023 because if they said 2024, they would have looked stupid because the 2024 numbers were out of this world. And I want to say L. Duncan tried to like carry water for ESPN and explain the numbers. Like, no, if you guys hate Caitlin Clark, just say that. Like, you got to show what the numbers look like and show the growth. Like, don't try to omit it. And that's the problem with a lot of these. When you try to have these conversations about the WNBA, the new players, and Caitlin Clark, they try to like omit stuff so they take a shot at Caitlin Clark. And I'm not saying I'm the biggest fan of Caitlin Clark by any means. I do enjoy seeing some of her highlights, and she did bend the knee to the woke mob, but however, she has been impactful to the game, and a lot of women have been getting paid because of Caitlin Clark. And also in that draft class from last year, I feel like that's probably one of the best draft classes we've seen, though, because that honestly was a bunch of very feminine women that were drafted. Like there are some WNBA players I know just because of they look good in a skirt. Like I'm going to be respectful about that. Like they look great in a skirt instead of the
Yeah.
whole pantsuit. And so if you have like Paige Bueckers, which again the WNBA is going to wrap their arms around her, she may be who they put all the marketing behind, but she'll never come close to Caitlin Clark when it comes of like the draw as well as the I don't think she'll get the basketball numbers either because she's going the Dow's wing, so maybe she'll thrive there though. But Caitlin Clark is going to be on a whole nother level.
They're definitely trying to make her the messiah of the league. And if we're looking at this unbiased, which ESPN should be doing, but we already know that they're biased.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Viewership was up because of Caitlin Clark. We know that Angel Reese has a stronger social media presence. I personally see the value in both, but let's be honest, Caitlin Clark is the one everybody was jumping on her back. And again, you would think that the WNBA would recognize that. And I'm talking about the players. I know the league does. That
Mm-hmm.
you would think the players would recognize that and say, "Girl, go out here, do your thing, bring some more money into this league so we can all get paid. Everybody eats, V." But they're not looking at it like that.
No,
They
not
just
even
want me and mine right now for me and my wife at home.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the average ticket sales for Caitlin Clark, the game, because those ticket sales are through the roof. Like anybody that plays Caitlin Clark, you're going to get a ton of tickets or ticket revenue. And that's exactly what you want. But some of these dumbass WNBA owners, again, this just tells me anybody can run a WNBA franchise because the majority of them, they should be moving all their games. If you have a small stadium or arena, move it to a bigger arena because when Caitlin Clark fans travel. That's the other thing too. They travel. They want to see her play, and no other player has a fan base just like this. Angel Reese might have a fan base, but they don't buy her jersey. They don't watch her games. They barely tune into her podcast. So, and same thing with
Yeah.
Cameron Brink. Cameron Brink, I mean, she has an okay podcast. They say some interesting things on there. But I mean, I ain't watching Cameron Brink just because she has a good podcast. I'm watching Cameron Brink because Cameron Brink is gorgeous, in my opinion.
I ain't gonna argue that. And I couldn't find ticket price stuff either. But what I did find, Sports Illustrated reported that the Indiana Fever, because of the Caitlin Clark effect, their average attendance went from 4,000 to 17,000 during the 2024 season. So
Mm-hmm.
something's happening there. And her jersey sales over the season, I'm talking about Caitlin Clark again. Jersey sales for the Indiana Fever, this is all from Sports Illustrated, increased by 264%.
Yeah.
Mostly
See,
Caitlin Clark jerseys.
yeah. I
You
found
gotta you
some.
gotta put your you gotta jump, you gotta go where the money train is, man. Get the
Yeah. Yeah.
bag.
You
That's what
gotta.
that's what y'all be complaining about all these times. So why not follow the money?
Yeah. And so I found something about the ticket sales. According to Ticketmaster, the getting price is at 250, but courtside resold for 5,000 a piece. This is the Caitlin Clark against Paige game. Like
Wasn't
Paige
expecting
might,
that.
yeah. See again, Paige. Again, I just like the pantsuit, and Paige is a good baller. But at the end of the day, though, this is Caitlin Clark's league. The league just doesn't want to give it to her because she doesn't check enough boxes. I mean, Caitlin Clark is definitely woke, but she's not on the scissors team. So it'll be interesting to see.
I
Um,
think she's forced to woke, TR. There's two
well,
types of woke. There's the woke because you are, and there's the woke because they forced you to be.
hey, all I heard was woke. Like Caitlin Clark, she can pretty much do anything. She could do anything she wants. I mean, I wouldn't mind. So I wouldn't mind getting a pair of her shoes for my daughter, but her shoes haven't come out yet. I can remember the last time where there was a top athlete who got a mega shoe deal whose shoes haven't come out yet.
Yeah, that's
Like
trash.
now, I will say, Asia Wilson, her shoes are actually pretty nice though. So I actually might get her a pair of those. Because I mean the shoes are nice. Like I'm not gonna disrespect her just because it's Asia Wilson. Like I barely know what team Asia Wilson plays on, but I know Asia Wilson does numbers. I've seen her numbers. I know she's, you know, maybe underrated on the league, but that's the WNBA's fault. That's not the fault of the fans, especially Caitlin Clark's fans. That's not their fans. You should be embracing the new fans you're getting in there. And then also you should be embracing the Caitlin Clark effect. So that's definitely on them if they want to do something a little bit different, but they're terrible at marketing their top players, and especially if you're not a Lenny Litlicker, they definitely they struggle with it. So and Asia was married to a whole black man and has kids, and they don't even promote that. Like if you don't want to promote Caitlin Clark, start promoting the family values then, but they don't want to do that. So they have different ways to promote it, but they won't do it because of it doesn't fit in line with who their players are versus who's consuming their content. That's the issue. The biggest issue with them.
Yeah. And I've been to a couple of Phoenix Mercury game. More so when Diana Taurasi was a little bit younger, because I think she's retired now. She's also
Yeah.
the all-time leading scorer, by the way. So the Mercury aren't as competitive these days, but I can say that tickets were pretty cheap. But the experience was cool. It was a good time, going there and checking them out. I think the lowest I've seen them was $30. But yeah, man, they got to get on with this Caitlin Clark effect. But I think Paige is going to be just as good, if not better. They have kind of similar games to me. Actually, I think Paige is a little bit more athletic, but they have very similar games. So maybe that'll turn into a rivalry. And if it does, they need to push it good, like Salt and Pepper says.
Yeah, I honestly, the rivalry that I do like is Angel Reese. Now, it's not more for the
Yeah,
basketball, it's just for the online discourse that occurs though, because Angel Reese, I don't think
yeah.
Angel Reese is a bad person by any means. I think Angel Reese is trying to figure out how to play a part, but also I feel like Angel Reese doesn't have the right people to help elevate her brand. Because Angel Reese, I mean, she does have a lot of brand endorsements. She got the cereal and she has a McDonald's, so they're doing something. But I feel like Angel Reese should be like, I feel like she should be a little more popular than what she is right now, though, with multiple groups. Because right now, the only people I see supporting Angel Reese are just thirsty ass black men, like respectfully. Like that's those are the only ones I see that will carry water for
No,
Angel
the
Reese.
B Dubs rock with Angel Reese.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Her
but okay,
problem is she
you're
she can't she has she's black famous. That's the thing, and
you're black
she's got to
fan.
become a household name. That's the thing. And I'm there is a such thing. There are people who are black famous, and then there's people who are famous.
You okay,
It
MC
happens all
Puddin
the
over
time.
there?
What you mean? I
You okay?
I can't make a logical. I like Angel Reese, but I
I
realize
understand.
everybody doesn't. So
I well,
yeah,
I want to. I don't think people don't like. I don't think people dislike Angel Reese because of Angel Reese. Well, because of her game. Angel Reese, she leaves. I think she's good at what she does. And she should have taken. And I feel like if she wants to take her game to the next level, don't listen to me. But when Shaq was telling her how to elevate her game, I think that's what she should do. And again, this is Shaq telling her how to work on her post up. And I think I forget the chick's name that said it too. That Angel Reese needs to work on her post plays as well too. I think that will take her up to the next level. But also getting
I
her
agree with
social
that.
yeah, and getting her social media presence a little bit under control though, because as much as like I said, I do like how they're a little more feminine now, but I think when it comes to like being Angel Reese, I think you gotta dial it back with all the booty shots, like respectfully, because we like it though, but that's not elevating the WNBA. So if she want, I mean, I promise you, the WNBA wants to go to the next level with Angel Reese, but they can't do it because they don't know what she's going to do next. Because Angel Reese, she's always responding to comments. She's always like she goes after Caitlin Clark fans. It's like stop all that, just elevate your brand and go to the next level because you're going to make way more money on the off the court stuff than on the court stuff.
So I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with Angel. She so to me she reminds me of Ben Wallace, but Ben Wallace is in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, sure.
She's a walking double double, but she's not known as a scorer. You just talked about how she got the feedback that she needs to work on her post game. She does, and her short range shooting. She needs to work on those two things, but she's got the other pieces. She's can be very physical, and she's going to get you 10 rebounds a night.
Right.
So she's got some stuff to build on, and that's what practice is for. I mean, she's got injuries she's got to push through, but we're going to see how serious she is about doing her part to elevate the league because she's got a following too. It's not as big as Caitlin Clark's, but she's got one, and now
Yeah.
she's got to build out her game and start. If she wins, she'll win over more fans. Is what I'm getting at ultimately.
Yeah. And I think once that was their first year. So hopefully the second year will be a little bit different for them. So I'll definitely be actually I might watch that game with Caitlin Clark and Paige just because I want to see how
Yeah,
they square off. And Paige just came off of or not came off of, but she had that knee injury. And so it's good that she bounced back and became a number one pick. I hope she does well. And also I hope that the WA doesn't have to worry about some type of various assault or SA situations, though, because that Sedona Prince situation could have easily been a PR nightmare, even though a lot of these, legacy media networks would have tried to cover it up like they did with, or but they would cover that up, but they never cover up any issues involving men. And correct me if I'm wrong, and chat, you can do it too. I have yet to hear Malika Andrews talk about Sedona Prince as well too. Maybe she has. I don't know, but that should have been a conversation for everybody. But nobody wants to talk about Sedona Prince though. So, and if she does get in the league, that's gonna be huge though, because it's like, do you really care about women, or are you just trying to win? Which I think you brought that up earlier. They want to win, but I don't think they want to win through Sedona Prince. There's plenty. You got plenty of people you can win through. Sedona Prince is the worst person to win through. Yeah, MC.
Again, I'm curious to see how the WNBA, how long they're going to keep her away. I'm curious to see how long they're going to keep her away, because she's talented enough where she could get in there and she could compete. And I'm going to watch what happens over these next couple of months, because I think she's going to find a way to get into the league. Mark my
Yeah,
words.
honestly, I didn't know anything about Sedona Prince, until it started trending that there was something amiss with her, though. So maybe she will get picked up though. So only time will tell. Only time will tell though. So all right. Well, any last words, MC?
No, man, just keep rocking with us. Like, subscribe. We got some new things in the works. We're gonna do some new methods, switch up the formatting a little bit. We cooking though, and we're gonna keep cooking.
Yeah, yeah. And if everything goes to schedule, we'll probably be doing our first live show next week. So fingers crossed for that.
No doubt, no doubt.
All right. Adios, everyone.
Peace.